Hey, what's going on everybody? Mano back here for another solo Ascendant Challenge video guide. It's March 12th, 2019. It's the second week of the Drifter, and many of you are still trying to raise your light levels, so let's go ahead and help you out by getting that Ascendant Challenge taken care of for you this week. It is the Keep of Honed Edges Ascendant Challenge this week. If you see a rally flag around this area right when you come in, make sure you go pick that up. That is what I'm doing right now. As I do with all my Ascendant Challenge videos, timestamps are located on screen and in the description box below if you're just looking for the eggs, the bones, or the challenge entrance location. The Keep of Honed Edges as an Ascendant challenge is one of the more difficult Ascendant challenges. It's my favorite one to do, but it's probably been my #1 commented and #1 requested video to offer more details on. So I'm going to give you every single avenue that I can think of to help you in getting this Ascendant challenge done, plus getting all the eggs, the lore, and everything else like that. First of all, when you get into Reyes Sylvia, make sure you take a hard left, come over and pick up your Ascendant challenge bounty. We're actually going to be heading over to the backside of that cathedral, and the location for the Ascendant challenge also corresponds to the third weekly Cursed City, Dreaming City challenge that is going on. It's the same location that you end up in for the story missions, so make sure you go ahead and take a look around there because that's where you're going. I do want to say a big thank you to all of you folks who've been supporting my content. We just hit 18,000 subscribers, which is just nuts. We are growing at a great pace, and a lot of that is due to your support, so thank you all very much. I've been unable to stream and make some content the last couple of days because my PC has been out of commission, but everything is back up and running now. So if you didn't know, I do stream on twitch.tv/manoduster777 whenever I can. In addition, if you are interested in checking out some new content for Season of the Drifter, I'm going to have some videos for you as soon as possible and as soon as I am done editing them. So, quick shout out. As we make our way out to the cathedral area here, you do not need to fight any of these enemies. You can basically just come across here. I think another random question I got is where I got that Sparrow. That Sparrow I was running is called the Hastilitude. It's a Year 1 Destiny 2 Sparrow that is not available anymore. I know that some people were asking about that in the video. I'm going to go ahead and wipe these enemies because that's going to allow me to show a couple of the details a little bit better without getting shot out and anything else like that. You can see that I have already popped my Ascendants from my Tincture of Queen's Foil. I'll explain that a little bit more here in just a second once these enemies are dead. But if you look to the left side of my screen, there is a word that says Ascendants. That lets me know that I have popped a Tincture of Queen's Foil and that I can actually see some of the secrets in the Dreaming City. If you need a Tincture of Queen's Foil, you'll come through that door there, go to the door down below. There will be an elevator that will take you down to a room where you can actually buy Tinctures of Queen's Foil. And I'm going to go ahead and show you my menu here in just a second to kind of show you where that is. So again, my Ascendance is popped. You can see the portal and the entrance, but over here to my right, this is actually an easier way to get up to that platform. Again, the Tincture of Queen's Foil is in your inventory. It looks like this. You can get it from random chests inside the Dreaming City. I get a ton of questions about why people can't see the portal, and oftentimes that's the reason why they don't have one of those Tinctures of Queen's Foil. If you are having problems platforming on your character, you can take this spiral staircase all the way up to the top. I don't usually do this because I find it to be a little bit faster just to go up on top of the blights, but if you're having any issues with it, instead of taking that path there, you can just go ahead and take the blights. Now, many people were saying you can't do this with a warlock or a titan. I was on my hunter the last time we did it. I'm going to show you that that is not the case. I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit slower so you can kind of see how I do it. There's that egg that I still need to shoot on PC, but I'm going to hop on top of this blight. Then I'm going to go to the small blight around the corner that I kind of aim at. I do this a lot faster when I'm not explaining it. So again, just showing you that it is very easily done on a warlock to make sure that there is no misconception about hunter versus warlock jumps, etc., etc. As you enter into the Keep of Honed Edges, you will see a light in a giant gazebo cathedral-like area. That is your destination and where the first part of the Ascendant challenge is. You will see many, many shattered rocks. Go ahead and just take your time as you make your way over. There will be a couple of rotating rocks like I'll show you here in just a second. To my bottom left, there will be some rocks that are spinning. If you see them spinning, just make sure you take a second and either jump over them like I do, or go ahead and wait for them to turn to an angle that is more favorable, and you will be good. There are going to be 3 knights plus a bunch of other adds you need to kill. The knights are only damageable by the sword, so what we're going to do is we're going to kill all the enemies in this area. By killing all the enemies in that area, that is going to unlock the sword that is in the middle, and that will allow us to do damage to the knights. So we're going to go ahead and use our Dawn Blade and just keep going. I'm really glad that they buffed Dawn Blade. I'm really excited by that. I'm going to pick up the sword, and one of the knights is going to go ahead and rise up because he will now be affected by the sword damage. As a warlock, I'm going to go ahead and pop my Rift and put that down right there. I'll be able to stay inside the rift even though there's lots of things attacking me. I'll actually be able to stay alive. As soon as you kill the first knight, the other 2 knights will spawn up, plus a ton of other enemies. If you want to use a Well of Radiance to go ahead and knock these folks out, that would also be a good choice, but I just wanted to use my Dawn Blade because it was more fun. In addition, if you're running this on Hunter, I have this on some of my older videos, you can actually just pop your tether as soon as you pick up your sword and kill those guys really quickly when they're all tethered together. It's very easy to do, and once all 3 knights are dead, you are done with the first portion of the Ascendant Challenge. What's going to happen is the portal is going to open, and you are going to need to bring the sword over to that area. But first, let's go ahead and show you where the bones and the eggs are. I have this on my Hunter. I switched to my Hunter video to kind of show you some of the differences between doing these things on Hunter and Warlock, and to show you that it is very doable on both and what to look for. First of all, you're going to go ahead and go to the side opposite of where Toland is. Toland is that light that he is going to be down kind of on the bottom right area. If you go to the side opposite of him, you are going to see a little glittering light. Go to the right of that little glittering light, and that is going to be your lore and Ahamkara bone location. If you still have Ascendants ready there, and you can see I've got Ascendants, the word is up to the left side of the screen, you will be able to follow this path all the way back up to the top gazebo area. There's Toland right there. You can see he was on the opposite side. I'm going to keep making my way around, and I'll go ahead and pick up Toland here in just a second. Because of the nature of this Ascendant Challenge, many people get lost. Here's one thing to think about. The Toland location that you can see right there is your only frame of reference. The exit and entrance area actually rotates around during the map. So if you're having problems figuring out where you need to go for the eggs or where to aim, use Toland as a reference point. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Toland right here. Now, you don't need to pick up Toland if you don't want to. I just happen to have the bounty on my Hunter, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. But if you want to keep him there as a frame of reference, that is a really good idea as well. So we're going to go ahead and just follow the Ascendant platforms all the way around. Some of you may have noticed that I switched to my Witch Ender Bow. The Witch Ender Bow is the only thing that can actually damage and collect the eggs that we're going to be shooting here in just a second. I have many people who are like, I can't shoot the eggs. They are immune. I've got questions for weeks about that. And I try in every single video to say, hey, you need the Wish Ender Bow. You can get the Wish Ender Bow by doing the specific quest inside the Shattered Throne, which actually is up this week. So I'm going to do a video guide on that a little bit later on, probably Thursday or so, when I get the chance to do it. Okay, so on the same side as the Toland light, you will see this gazebo here. You're going to hop on top of the gazebo, or if you want to, you can use the lamps that are underneath that roof, and you're going to go ahead and hop up to the top of that. If you want to, you can even go up to the entire roof of the entire Ascendant Challenge. Now, you're going to see me here shooting this egg. I'm going to miss a bunch of times. There is a way to actually sword fly over to there, but I don't recommend it. There is no flat surface to land on, and it's very easy for you to lose the sword. To complete this Ascendant Challenge, you do have to have the sword with you at the exit where the chest will appear. So if you lose the sword, you're kind of screwed on that. But you can see there, with just a little persistence and leaning forward and aiming up just at the top of that egg, I'm able to pick it off very easily. Turn your mobility up if you're having problems making that jump, and life will be good. Now, I'm going to show you the second egg with both my Hunter and my Warlock. You can see that I'm actually collecting these things with my Hunter. I like actually showing you specifically where those items are, and I did this on my Hunter. I don't like to just shoot the air kind of where it is in case if some of you have questions about where it is. But the second egg is actually really easy to find. There's 2 checkpoints and 2 ways for you to find the area you need to go. First of all, you need to find what I call Donut Rock. If you look right here, there is a rock with a hole in it. It's the only one that exists on this map that kind of looks like that. The second checkpoint you're going to look for is this gazebo that looks like all the columns are still in place and that the roof is gone, but the circle where the roof would be is still in place. Off in the distance, there is a mountainous area where you can see lightning is lighting up the area. You're going to go ahead and fly over to the left side. That's using the quick swipe melee. For me, it's right bumper. For you PlayStation folks, it's probably R1, and for PC, it would just be whatever you tied your small melee button to. Go ahead and jump around until you find some flat surfaces. Again, the first egg does not have any flat surfaces like this, so it's very easy to lose the sword and very easy to die in that location. That's why I recommend go ahead and just do that by flying over to the second one and using the wish ender to hit the one from a distance on the first one. Again, there would be the location for the Ahamkara bones. Here, I'm going to go ahead and knock out a couple of enemies. You can see that I switched to my Warlock. You can see that it's very easy to do on all characters. I'm going to show you this on my Warlock as well. Titan, it's the very same. In fact, some exotics allow you to move your Titan a little bit faster, a little bit easier than some of the other classes too, regardless of PC or console or anything else like that. If you're finding that these enemies are giving you a hard time, just go ahead and use a bow or a sniper rifle and take them out. You will not need to fight them later on, but again, sometimes they're annoying when you're trying to line up shots and things like that. So I'm going to show you those two checkpoints again on my Warlock. I'm going to go ahead and find the gazebo area. I found the gazebo with the columns over there slightly to the left. I'm going to go ahead and hop over here, confirm that I found Donut Rock. Here it is. We're going to wait for those rocks to go, hop on over. And you will be able to see, again, the columns and the gazebo. The circle at the top is complete. That is your checkpoint. That is where you need to look. I'm going to go ahead and grab the sword. Actually, let's knock out a couple of these enemies. Now, a couple of recommendations I can give when you are sword flying. Don't ever use your heavy swipe, because that will actually nail you into the ground. You need to use the light swipe. You need to use the small melee as much as possible. Never use the heavy melee there, or else you'll be in trouble. Use a boost that gives you more forward momentum. I'm using Burst Glide on Warlock. I would use Strafe Lift on Titan, and then Triple Jump for Hunter. But again, use whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as it's not giving you more height. I'm going to go ahead and establish where I need to go. If you're having problems seeing it too, you could always chuck a grenade over in that area. I just didn't want to wait for my grenade to spawn up here. So I came over to that area to the left-hand side. I just kept swiping. We're going to hop over a slightly different path since I'm on my Warlock. But again, you can see that this is very easily done. And if you ever are having problems getting around this rock, just keep swiping until you find a flat surface where you are good to go. You can see that there are many flat surfaces on this rock where you can land. The other area, it's very difficult to land as there are no flat surfaces. You can get to the very top right by the egg, but again, it's very chancy. I recommend doing it the other way. That's where the egg would have been, but since I already collected it on my hunter, we're going to go ahead and just make our way to the exit. Again, you have to have the sword with you, or else you will not complete the Ascendant challenge. The chest will not spawn. So instead of fighting all those enemies, I'm going to go ahead and get a great running jump, and I'm going to go ahead and sword swipe all the way to the end. By doing this, I negate all those rocks that are going to be flying at me and actually skip all the enemies too. The only actual danger I sometimes run into when I do this is I go too far. So make sure you land. If you need to land right on the ground, go ahead and do a sword swipe down, but make sure you're aiming down below. The Ascendant challenge is completed. I can hop through the portal, and that is all taken care of. So guys, I hope this helped out a ton. I know that there were a lot of comments in the last video where a lot of people were confused about some stuff. So hopefully this gave you a lot of avenues. First of all, to show you how it's very doable on all characters. It's not just because I'm on a hunter. That's not a thing. I just showed you how to do it on a Warlock. It's very simple, not difficult to do at all. If you do have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you folks. Again, check me out at twitch.tv twitch.tv/manodestra777. We're going to be doing some streaming a little bit later on this week, so come check that out if you need a Shattered Throne or anything else like that, or even if you are interested in finding out more about the Thorn. I'm going to go ahead and cover that here on YouTube. A subscription is greatly appreciated, helps out the channel a ton. Thank you guys so much. A like is appreciated as well if this video guide helped you out as well. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great week with Season of the Drifter. Good hunting out there, and I'll see you next time in the universe of Destiny.